So at that meeting, we'll be presenting back the action items that we'll commit to over the calendar year of 2010 to improve public safety in every neighborhood. Now, on top of that, we have access to technical assistance from the Michigan State School of Criminal Justice to help provide some additional training for our officers as they become more oriented towards this community policing approach, and as we integrate a foot patrol into the variety of different crime fighting activities that our force undertakes. So we're ready to commit to this body tonight that before school lets out in June, we will not only have the neighborhood level items that we're committing to improve public safety, but we'll also have an integrated, comprehensive public safety strategy, because this goes beyond just a plan. We don't want a plan that sits on a shelf. We need it to be a working strategy, and much of that we will have already begun to implement. This administration is committed to reducing crime again in 2010. We have to remember that this growing sense of insecurity that many of our residents are feeling because of the economy, because of health care, of a variety of other challenges, that 2009 crime statistics were lower than 2008 by approximately 8% across the board on all categories of crime. And our commitment is to drive that number down even 10% farther, 1,000 fewer crimes in the city in 2010 than there were in 2009. So by the time school lets out, we'll be committed to presenting a strategy that integrates the neighborhood steps to increase public safety all across the city, the training and the technical assistance that will have taken place and will be ongoing with our officers around community-oriented policing, and the actual numerical targets that we'll set in regards to crime reduction in the city's full 9 wards. So that's that's the big picture. I want to hand it over to the chief to talk for a couple minutes about the reorganization that has taken place in the fire department, how the 3 stations are able to operate, and what we know about our capacity given the number of fires that our hardworking firefighters have had to face in these recent days. So, Chief.
Okay, in light of the recent layoffs, we have reduced our stations from 5 to 3, and at those stations we committed to make those stations fully operational, so when the firemen get to a fire, that they can attack the fire while the backup is coming. And we still have to have backup come, and that's just the reality of where we are as far as the fire department. As far as the police department goes, we have implemented, well, we started to implement this foot patrol. Foot patrol. We're going to have 9 officers in each ward during the day, 9 at night. Also with that, we have 8 cops officers. Half of those cops officers will be assigned day shift, and half of them will be assigned night shift. And the strategy for those is to back up our foot patrol officers during the day and at night. The cops officers will be mobile, and they can respond to any of the wards to back up the foot patrol officers if they have an incident or something in what they specifically want to attack. We also still have the 6 prosecutors officers, which will be assigned to the same place they were assigned before in the 9th ward. That hasn't changed. The only difference is we'll have less officers during our general patrol, but we still have officers assigned to the general patrol also.
I guess I'll open it up to my colleagues then for specific questions. I've got Councilman Lloyd, and then let's go from there.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, sir. Okay. I don't know. I really don't know where to start. City, of course, we all know that we're facing some tough times, and Mayor, just like we talked over the weekend, you made one statement to the media And first of all, thank you guys for coming, especially with this being a specially scheduled meeting. But one thing you said in the media, you said that it is possible for the city to do more with less. And I don't know how you can assure the residents that you're going to be able to do more with less without a plan. And we asked for a public safety plan, I believe, way back in November. I know you talked about it earlier campaign, and I know that we've been through different changes, but we're to the point where we're not going to keep asking for a plan. We want one on our table in the next 60 days. In 60 days, we want a comprehensive public safety plan that shows not just this body, but also the public, how you're going to be able to do more with less. Of course, we know that revenue and all of those things are dwindling down, but at this time, I mean, we don't have time to waste piecemealing what we're doing, especially in the area of public safety and code enforcement and sanitation. That's another area. In 60 days, we want to plan for public safety. In 30 days, we want to plan for code enforcement. The residents in the city are already, Councilman Sargent just passed us all a note of residents that have called him about the insurance prices jumping all the way up. I think one resident quoted that her rates jumped up $500. We all know that the city is hurting. We all know that the money is dwindling. But in times where we have less, we have to manage what we have better. And I'm not confident that that is happening. Again, as we make layoffs, there needs to be a plan of how we're going to supplement those officers once they're laid out the door. As we set up trash pickup for every other week, we need to be able to show the public how we're going to keep the neighborhoods clean and prosecute the individuals that illegally dump and illegally violate the ordinances all the way across the board. Another issue that I know you and I talked about is the negotiations with the unions. There is no reason, in my opinion, that your administration should have got up from the table until you got where we needed to be. At this time, there's no time for playing games. I mean, there's no time for you guys to be at the tables talking about what you're going to settle for and what you're not going to settle for. You need to be sitting at the table until you get where we need to be. You guys being up from the tables, in my opinion, is totally unacceptable because we are not there yet. The other thing is the budget amendment, and I know you guys are bringing that to us in the future, but I'd like for you to tell us, because it's already in your hands. Mike Townsend has already put it in you guys' hands. I'd like to see you tell us here at the table today about some of the things that are included in that comprehensive plan. We were supposed to have that in January. I know you brought one. It was half done. We asked for additional things in there. You guys said you would bring it. You can tell us today some of the things that you're going to have in there. The other thing is there needs to be more cutbacks in some of the non-essential departments. I'm not confident that cuts have been made all the way across the board in areas where cuts can be made. Of course, it's going to be uncomfortable for us. Of course, we're not going to lose personnel. Of course, we're not going to do this, that, and other. But the reality is top priority in City Hall should be public safety, and that's about it. When you bring your budget amendment, I'm hoping that there have been substantial cuts in the area of exempt employees. There are still political buddies from campaigns dating back way before I thought about coming to the city council. And a lot of those individuals, in my opinion, we don't need them. We don't need them. And that's something that I've been looking at. That's something that I talked to you about. And we know that we know that those individuals are there. Some of those individuals need to go. One other thing, I know you talked about the adding a fire chief. I know that's in the conversation that we had. I don't know if you talked to the public, but maybe you can speak on that as well. And actually, I think it's